Welcome to Innovate and Educate Creative Bulletin News. I'm Yvette Foster, and I'm so excited to present to you, future primary teacher, this format where you're going to be able to learn more about innovation thanks to the contribution of very experienced primary teachers that will share with us their active methodologies and the way they try to encourage their students to be more involved into their learning to learn process. So, are you ready? Let's take off and learn. Welcome to Innovate and Educate Creative Bulletin News. On this fourth episode, we will have the honor to learn from an admirable and dedicated primary teacher. His name is Adrián Fernández, and he's an expert in educational innovation, gamification, and game based learning. He has been nominated several times for the EducaBank Awards, and besides, he has won the award of SIMO Education for as the best teaching experience in 2023. So, welcome, Adrian. Thank you very much for giving us your time and your contribution to education. Thank you.
Thank, thank you, but my pleasure to be here. My pleasure to be here with you. I also admire you, huh?
Well, we know each other in a different way, but it's true that what you do with your students is worth to share with future teachers so they can learn more about what is possible to do. That it's possible if you work on it. So, my first question will be if you could very briefly explain what took you to become a teacher.
So, to be honest, I started a different degree. So I
Oh,
started a computer engineering because I loved
ah,
it. Yeah, I like my favorite subject was math. True that I could also speak English, and here I am today as an English teacher. But when I started at university, I saw myself there, and you know, I said, oh, maybe I'm not made for this, so I decided to switch, and I was giving private tuition to a few children. Um, so I said, hey, maybe I should become a teacher because I love spending time with them, and I think I might be good at it one day. So yeah, that's a true story. Yeah.
wow, wow. Oh, then you and I will share some other time of coffee because something similar happened in terms of computers and engineering that it wasn't for me. But okay, good. All right, fantastic. Good to know. Well, let's get into the subject, okay? Um, what is your opinion about contemplating gamification as part of any educational innovation project? What are the
I
advantages?
So first of all, I briefly mention what gamification is so that we
Good
can
point.
understand. The classic definition would be like applying a game mechanics in contexts that are not fun to make it
Mm,
simple, right? So we take, hey, a lot of games have points. Let's take points to a non-game context. A lot of games include rewards, so let's take rewards to a non-game context to with
mhm.
the purpose of making it more motivated and engaging. So the advantages of bringing a this methodology to the classroom, it's first of all that you don't need to leave any other methodology apart. You can just, hey, I'm doing a project, but I have
Mhm.
a gamification project and they work perfectly together. Or hey, today I'm going to explain this to my kids and my kids are gonna answer some questions. Works perfectly. Okay, so that is the first advantage for me that you could bring other methodologies to the classroom as well. And
Good.
the second one would be the narrative behind any gamification project. There's a story behind. So children are not there just earning points and getting badges and getting rewards. They're also part of, if it's a Harry Potter a project, they say, "Hey, I belong in Hufflepuff," and
Yeah.
they and they I'm trying to get all these things to save Hogwarts. Or if it's a different project, there's always something bigger than themselves behind. They believe they're contributing to something really, really big. So that's it.
Oh, so it's like at the same time they are also working this sense of belonging, right? And that their contribution to that project is going to be, crucial to make things work out and happen. And so the rest, it's like this sense of belonging is so important in class, right? Oh, wow. Very interesting. And because you were talking about motivation, right? So how do you preserve in your students that initial interest of motivation throughout the entire duration of a project, for example? How do you keep that in motivation, that interest?
So yeah, I have to admit a beforehand that sometimes your project might just not work, okay? And that's very honest. And you need to say, hey, this is not working because maybe, it wasn't well designed, or, the kids are not at that point, or maybe you are not 100% focused on that project. And you may have to say, hey, let's leave this here and I may come back to it. Uh, that's the first thing, to be honest, because when I see, or sometimes people talk about gamification as something perfect, and it's not,
Mm,
and it doesn't work for everyone. But if it works for 50% or 60% of your class who are more motivated, the others may not be or feel motivated about the project, but maybe they like the rewards, or they like the surprises, or they like the activities in it. Okay, so first of all, it doesn't work for every. I've been teacher in fourth A and fourth B, and some things work perfectly in fourth A, and I have to be different. I behave differently in 4B because it's a different class and they like different things. So, sorry, what was the question?
yeah, about the motivation. How can you
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So, the important thing is to design a project that has so many different things. Kids with different personalities could feel interested in some of those things. So I'll give you examples. Some are very competitive, so they care a lot about the points, about the leaderboard. If there's a leaderboard that shows where you are that week or that month. Some others may be really curious. So if you create projects where they can explore with some interactive apps, maybe they feel more motivated in that sense. No, hey, I want to discover all these things. Some others are more collectors. So
Hmm.
if there is a card collection or rewards or badges that they can stick on a something you design for them, they will say, "Hey, I want to complete this, okay? Because I want to have them all." And others will just enjoy the social part. A, I'm not very interested in games, in points, in badges, but I do like being part of the team and doing missions together. Missions are understood as a task they need to complete in a game.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so varied then. It's like you are tackling different, learning styles and interests out and yeah, as a whole, right?
Yeah, and
So,
there's also a very important thing that as a teacher, I felt many, many times in projects that motivation is decreasing, no?
yeah.
So that's when you need to prepare a surprise, and a surprise to get them hooked again
Mm,
would
yeah.
be something as a fun gincana outside, or maybe an escape room, or a motivation video that you show them, twisting the story. So the story that was behind the narrative, a twist in the story could help children become engaged again. So yeah, uh, I wanted to add that.
Yeah. Where do you get that inspiration, by the way?
Yeah, but so inspiration, so if you want to gamify your class to create a gamification project, I would say it's essential you play yourself. So I mean, you play board games, you play video games, you do escape rooms, you read books, you watch series, because all those things I could help you get your own ideas or maybe copy. I've copied many times from a film, from escape room. Oh, I really like that. I'm just quickly adapted to my class. And the second thing is that's a um this is a con too, okay? Not pro. I don't want to say everything is beautiful. It takes a long time. So I think, I mean, to create the resources, to
Mm,
plan. Um, so before, so this year right now, I'm not doing any gamification in my classroom because I just can't. Okay, I don't have the time. So I would say to any teacher, make sure, and it's not because of the time, but make sure you can maintain a
mm,
that project in the time. Because maybe sometimes we start, really motivated and we say, hey, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this every week, one of these for my kids. But after 3 weeks, it's hard to do it. So it's better to, plan something from the humble side, like hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna do something once a month to start with. Okay, because I'm sure I will be able to do it and
Mm,
just do it. And then,
mm,
hey, I think maybe I can do it every other week now. And then you just, but before
yeah.
starting, be aware of the time if you don't have everything prepared, and the do something simple. That would be my advice for a someone interested in gamification for the first time. Something
Yeah.
simple may work perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So keep it simple. So you try, and then that will take you to other challenges that will maybe are more complex or that require
yeah.
more of your time or in the long term, right? And right now I was thinking about how do you work curriculum and gamification, for example, or well, then we'll talk about your recent project that is fantastic. But how do you work with curriculum and content and gamification? How do you combine both, or
Mhm.
how is it?
Yeah, I didn't mention it, but I am an English teacher. Well, you did. And the when you're an English teacher, everything is a bit easier, I feel. Same for lengua teachers, Spanish teachers, because if there is a lot of reading in your project, so I create materials where children are reading the story, and I try to include the vocabulary we're doing this year. I try to make it fit there, not just randomly appear, okay?
Good.
Uh, or the verb tense. If I'm doing past continuous, the character in the story will tell them a story in the past continuous, okay? In that way, it's easy to adapt. But I've done a how do you say it? A multidisciplinary or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
projects. So for example, I didn't teach maths, but there was a math teacher who was interested in this. So he said, "Hey, why don't you include math questions too?" And we did. So imagine a simple example. Okay, the children with some a app or digital resource. I often use Genially. Okay, that allows
Mm,
you to create interactive content. So they're reading through a story, and suddenly an evil character appears, and
mm,
they need to defeat this character to go on. So to defeat that character, they don't need to fight. It's gonna be a question answers battle. So the character just asks asks the students questions about whatever we're studying. Okay, that's a simple way to do it. A,
oh,
you know,
oh,
there if you're doing math, the character is gonna ask you 8 times 5. And if the
yeah,
children answer correctly, the character is gonna lose a health point. When the evil character loses all the health points, you can go on in the game. So
Ah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, I love it. You are mentioning about the importance of teamwork that some no we so you can work with gamification in this case or game-based
Hmm.
learning or not just on your own, but you can work with your colleagues too. And it's a
Sure.
multidisciplinary, possibility. And besides, like I was thinking about fiction too. You, you are
Sure.
taking them, it's like a double, balancing between reality and fiction. I love it. I love it,
And
Adrian.
and
Yeah.
then you can always connect it to reality. So I think the project you were referring to before was that. So a do you want me to talk about a real life
Yes,
example?
please. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
so in this project there was a fantasy world. So everything in that kingdom uh was messed up. Okay, so there all the little towns and the cities there were a mess. So it was the students' responsibility to fix them. And that was those cities they had a real life problem in it. Okay, so there was a city where women had their rights. There was a city where they didn't take care of animals and plants. There was a city in which the sea was polluted. So all real life examples. Okay, so um, our, our task here was to get to that point in the fantasy world,
Mm,
discover what was going on, and then develop a real life solution. So I'll give you
yeah.
a couple of examples for climate change. And it doesn't need to be anything amazing. Okay, so look, for the city in which they didn't care about a climate change, the kids designed bookmarks
Wow.
to raise awareness of things, actions we carry to help achieve this goal. And we gave them, so we welcomed this was fifth grade. So we welcomed third grade into our class and we talked to them about climate change and then we gave them these bookmarks. So it was also good because you were promoting reading, no? A little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And the second
Promoting reading
example,
and working, as a community too,
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
oh,
sure.
I love it. I love it. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And the second one would be maybe, yeah. So in this city, the pirates had been there, had contaminated all the sea, have left rubbish in it, which is happening too in a real world, now. Some places are polluted. So we started out watching a video with some turtles struggling to live because of plastic. And we did this thinking routine, what I know, what I
Yeah.
learn, what I know, what I want to know, and
To
what I
know and
learned.
what I learned. Yeah.
But people don't know I'm sick, so that's my voice
No,
here.
yeah. That's not his real. That's not his real voice, huh?
No,
Okay.
no.
Just for your
I
info.
sometimes I sound better. So yeah, then our real life solution to help with, clear clean seas was we decorated lots of paper bags with messages, again, to raise awareness or messages about how important it is for species to have a clean sea and also for us, as a part of the world. So we decorated, I don't know, 100, 200 more classes participated, okay, in the school, bags, paper bags, and then we donated them to a store, to a shop, okay, and this shop used it with their customers. So on those days when the customers bought something in their store, they would be offered one of our bags, saying, well, there was a poster too that we say, hey, we are a school, we did this to, and it was good. They gave us feedback, so people could write a message for us, and we got lots of beautiful messages like, "Hey guys, you're doing a great job. Thanks for these beautiful projects." Also, the bags are very beautiful because there were many artists in those classes. So yeah,
Oh,
And that's
it's
yeah,
like
just
you make
examples.
magic come true, but it's got everything in, in the combo. You have reality fiction, awareness, community, sense of belonging, community, like, creating this awareness about our planet, and that we need to take care of it.
Mm.
I love how you propose, these possibilities for your students. Finally, Adrian, I think that we should, and I would love that you could share with everybody your first Lego League Pink Black fundraising campaign. What is that? Can you share the huge accomplishment that that you and your students have recently accomplished again? Sorry.
Yeah. A Thank you, Yvette. So last month, we participated in a national final for the first Lego League tournament. We had qualified in Madrid to the national final, and we managed there to, it's a balance between competition and cooperation in this
Good.
tournament, which is good, and the value. So the tournament is about programming a robot. So you have to design your robot, and then you need to present an innovation project about a whatever the season is. This season is about art. So we developed projects so that a people would be more motivated to visit museums. Okay, so that was our innovation project, but it was about art and hobbies. So, and there's also something called the core values. Okay, the
Hmm.
values in this tournament are discovery, teamwork, inclusion, impact, innovation, and fun. Okay, and that we won first place in Spain for the core values. So part of the team. So we're right now so with that first place in core values in Spain, we were invited to attend an international tournament in Massachusetts, USA. Um, but just offered to go there, but you have to pay for everything, and it's very, very expensive. So it's a
Hmm.
team of three fifth graders and seven sixth graders. Yeah,
Hmm.
the tournament is from age 10 to 16.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a team of 10 children, and we raised we're right now, thankfully, some companies are also helping us, but we're still very far away from our goal. Um, that is 21,000 euro for the trip, because you have to pay for the tournament, you have to pay for flights, you have to pay for everything, accommodation. So yeah, we have a GoFund, is it called GoFund? Yeah, GoFund project there for people who wish to donate. So yeah, thank you, Yvette, for mentioning it.
Yeah. Everybody collaborate
We
because
well, okay, they can
we
find us. They can find us
yeah.
on Instagram. Our handle is FLL. FLL stands for First Lego League. So at FLL Pink Black. Pink
Yeah.
Black because our team this year we were the clothes of Greece, the film Greece.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Okay.
So the girls wear the jackets of the pink ladies,
Oh.
and they boys wear these leather jackets. So
Oh, like
pink black.
John Travolta. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, love it. Well, so everybody, please be part of this magnificent opportunity for these children and for this teacher that is so committed to education. And Adrian, I am so grateful for your time. Really, I think that you have given us, very tangible, tips that future teachers, can grab and, munch, and feel part
Yeah.
that they can do it, that it's possible, that it requires, like in a simple phrase, if you can, like, what will be your advice for them? No, like once they finish their degree, what will be your advice
Okay,
or
this is
recommendation? Hmm.
this is very clear for me. My advice would be don't be afraid of trying or of fail. Okay, so if you believe in something, just do it. Are you going to make mistakes? Yes, you are. I've made 100,000 mistakes already. Is it going to work perfectly? No, it's not. Is it? Sorry. Is it going to work for everybody? No, but just if you believe in it and you're passionate about it, don't be scared of trying, because a fail is just a part of the learning process. So just go ahead. Don't say no. I would like to do it, but no, it's too difficult, or no, no, no. Just go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, and
Okay.
yeah, actually, things will work out, in the long term, and you will be modeling your teaching learning
Sure.
process
Sure.
as you practice. Thank you very much, Adrian,
Thank
for
you,
your
Greg.
time. No, and
Greg.
everybody, thank you. I'll see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bye bye.